Putros Gary. It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and you're watching the Big Detection Show.
You most certainly are, and happy birthday, Mr. Brame.
And hello, everybody. We've missed you.
No, we haven't. You've just been telling well, Facebook, mate, that place you won't go.
Book of Faces. Oh, the evil debt. Yes.
Good evening, everybody. We apologise for last week. There were multiple issues that occurred between the three of us, and we had to postpone last week's guest from Detector Mania, Gary and the team, who we are just waiting to hear back from somebody who we hope will be coming on next week, and then we'll be able to get Gary back on, and also several other people, including Shane. And I'll tell you why in a minute, because I haven't got it linked up. Adrian, say things.
I'm very excited tonight because, you know, I like technical things, and we've got two people coming on the show very shortly who will hopefully answer your questions about what I personally think is a game changer in the metal detecting market on the XP Deus, and I'm very enthralled to be able to talk to these people tonight because they know a lot about XP, and I won't go any further in that. But if you're thinking of buying ST headphones for the XP Deus, updating your machine to 4.0, and if you've not got the stereo headphones, what do? This is the place to watch tonight. Regton are going to be coming on and talking to us very shortly about some very interesting facts and things about the SD headphones. So I know Donna is very excited about it, and Dave is confused. But Dave's just shown us a book.
A book.
Very excitingly, our very own Mr. Shane Holcroft has released his first ever book called More Than a Roman Road, Unearthing a Long History of Draycott in the Moors. A book by Shane Holcroft, and he's going to be coming on in a couple of weeks to tell us about that. In fact, he's told us lots about that already, hasn't he? He spoke multiple times about Draycott and the things that he's found there. I've been with him
He's talked
loads of
about the
times.
flat fines. I don't think he's talked about the context, and I think a lot of the context that you read in the blurb, it's like a lot of places we go to, but for whatever reason, this site seems to be exceptional. It's produced some exceptional fines, and that's what's interesting.
Not a site; it's multiple sites within a village.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I mean,
So,
I'm
yes, I'm going to get Shane to come on in a couple of weeks and talk about that.
Yeah,
and
it's a good example.
Flag him to give you a copy.
Please, yeah. I mean, it's a really good example of how metal detecting can access areas that archaeologists can't. That basically you can tell the story of a place through metal detecting. And I've done that with a couple of my fields, just purely metal detecting, no digging holes like archaeology. And you can put it all together and tell a story. So I think this will be really, really interesting.
And it also happens that Shane is a representative and the user of the XP and a representative of Regton as well. So
he is.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in karate tonight. Otherwise, he would have been on. We've got several new people in the chat. So can we just go down and say,
no, Donna, we've not got time.
All the usual suspects and the new people. And if you haven't tuned in before, we don't normally just focus on one machine or one thing. We talk about all kinds of things, metal detecting and other things associated with metal detecting. And sometimes we just have a chat and sometimes we have a drink and mess about. But everyone is welcome. So thank you.
And we also have, hopefully, big news.
Big news.
What's up with you big girl?
He's weed in his glass.
No, I haven't got any alcohol in the house. Long story.
I drank it all. We've hopefully got some exciting news coming in a couple of weeks as well. I think I'm a little bit more excited than everybody else. I've been bombarding Adrian and Donna with information. And hopefully we've also got big news coming from Treasure Hunting magazine as well. But Adrian hasn't told anybody, and he's only told me because I bombarded him and he went, "Oh, by the way."
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, that. But also,
I know nothing these days. I'm as left out as you guys in chat.
Yeah, can you mute her? We hope to be giving away a metal detector soon as well.
But not to Donna.
I think that's Yeah, sorry, I've got one of those. I should have put it on. Composite cleaning pencil.
I don't have a composite cleaning pencil hat.
Because Graham doesn't like you.
No, I know.
He likes us.
I have to pay for things. I haven't even got. I've got that on though. Hold on.
Oh, Donna.
She's doing it again. She's showing us a breasticles.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here to talk about metal detecting, and more importantly, what XP. Have we got any other notices or anything? We haven't, have we?
Parish notices. We have the current issue of Digging Deep, which has come out. If you order it to your own in paper version, like I do, it's come this week. Very nice too. Very interesting to learn who actually puts it together now. It's very well presented. I'll be honest with you.
We've got the first field test coming in from the Legend 2. So Gary Blackwell's had the Legend 2 out. And that looks like it's going to be a really interesting machine.
And we also have, obviously, this week as well, metal detecting news.
We do, from our lovely TC. And good evening, TC.
Next week, we'll have the Legend 2 on the show.
Hopefully.
And we will. And we'll be going through it. This week, it's about the XP Deus.
It is
too.
Yes, we have a stacked lineup, and we hopefully won't be letting you down again in the very near future. Which we
can we point out too, if there is anyone in the chat who doesn't know the rules, if you or anyone watching who doesn't know the rules, if you want to ask us a question, we are on live. So we're on Friday, the 5th of February, live. If you get yourself into the comments on YouTube, I think, Dave, you can pick them up on Facebook. But if you have a question for Marcus or Seb, then ask away and we'll try and
see them on the right. You can see them on the right-hand side, Donna. Facebook and YouTube.
I can. Do I get
No.
all of them?
Yes.
Right. So
And
let's rock and roll.
And here are our wonderful guests, the ever so lovely and stunningly looking Marcus and Seb. Good evening,
Absolutely.
Marcus and Seb. How are you both?
Good evening.
Stunning
Welcome.
Seb as well.
You okay?
Hello.
Yes, it looks
Really?
like your internet's fixed itself anyway.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
all
coming
looks
through
good.
loud and clear.
There's a marvellous looking banner in the background that keeps changing.
That's the detector vault. We had a TV in the front setup of our display for a day. Unfortunately, because of the wind of the rain, we had to close it down. But we use it here, over, as you can see over here, it will keep on changing. We've got images that we display in the shop of finds and ourselves out detecting and use it for other things as well.
None of Seb's mucky pictures from the website I mentioned previously
No,
have come up, have they?
no.
No.
No. None of those.
Right, excellent.
Marcus,
It's not 9 o'clock
Mark-
yet.
Marcus, Seb, we all know the common detectorist knows Regton. People who've been detecting 30, 40, 50 years knows Regton. But could you, for those who are new to the chat and new to the hobby, could you just give us an explanation about Regton and where you are in the world of detecting?
Okay, we'll start before Regton. So my father, Derek Ingram, started metal detecting in 1968. Was selling metal detectors in a shop called Treasure Hunting Specialists here in Birmingham in the 1970s. My brother started Regton in 1980.
79.
79.
But 81 officially.
81
yeah.
officially. So we're kind of into our 45th year, sorry, of metal detecting. So my father was metal detecting, my brother, myself, hardcore metal detectorists throughout our life. Seb is the third generation of the family in the business. I have 3 other sons as well, 2 of which are interested in metal detecting, 1 isn't, but you can't please everybody all the time. And we've been here from the beginning. We're now the oldest metal detecting shop in the country. As I said, 3rd generation, which we think is unique. We don't even know whether anybody else in the world is 3rd generation in selling metal detectors. But yes, we've seen a lot.
And we're still based in Birmingham.
Yep, still based in Birmingham.
What's actually...
And
you're
you've got
still
an
doing
actual
it.
shop.
And
Yeah.
you still loving it, and you detect, and you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's actually quite funny as well is I was on a dig back in the summer this year. It was a local group dig, and got talking to the farmer, and I actually found out that my granddad sold him his first and only detector back in, I think it was the mid-70s. And he still remember my granddad when he had his little handlebar moustache, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. So
Derek was easily identifiable. He was an RAF pilot in his youth, and he kept his full handlebar moustache and sideburns, so he was easily identifiable.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So you've tried to follow it on, but you've gone for the...
So
Yeah,
you've got a good picture of him up in the shop.
There
Yes.
is somewhere, actually.
Yeah, there is one there actually.
Yeah. But
There you go.
yeah.
Can I just say, what a brilliant shop background. You got the screen showing finds, you've got books, and I just looked to your right, Seb. I think it's your right or your left. You've got an old machine there, haven't you?
That's
you've
left.
got
Yeah.
There's a whole
Yeah,
row.
that's our little...
There's about 15 old machines there, ranging from.
Like a museum.
Let's bring this in first. This is. Sorry, it's not that. It's that one. So Derek is
That's fantastic.
second from the right.
That looks like a porn party in 1980s America.
Look at that moustache. Look at that moustache.
It's distinct, isn't
That
it?
is brilliant.
He looks more
Were
like a
those
Wilf.
detectors?
A Wilf. And
Oh, you should.
Adrian
definitely
and Marcus
send
will remember Wilf.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
a C-scope outing for a Midlands metal detecting club. I don't know which one it was back in the day. I would have probably been about that tall then. But going back to the machines over here, we have C-Scope Mark 1, Arado IB 6595, 120, 130. We have an early Technetics, early White Savo, machines from 1968 and 69. We've got Tesoros over there.
You've got the infamous Hoover, which is featured on our Facebook.
Yeah,
before,
the C-Scope Mark II, which is a space age looking thing from 1970s. BFO from Garrett, and an immaculate Fieldmaster 44.
Oh, funny enough,
I'm far too young to know what they're talking about.
I've just come from my local brewing house round the corner, where I've mounted a 1978 immaculate, never used Garrett, the metallic green one. You know, I'll try and think of the model name. You probably got one there.
Groundhog.
Metallic green.
Groundhog. Groundhog.
Yes. Yeah. Immaculate with the white coil. Here we go. That's the one. Yeah. So I've exactly the same. I've just mounted a groundhog on the wall in my local brewery, and it's as good a condition as that. Is that brand new? It's like mine.
The gentleman, we got this and the BFO Garrett from a gentleman in London who was a watchmaker, and this was used every weekend, and it looks as though it's never been used.
What was it, on the beach or?
No, no, inland. He was because he was a watchmaker. He kept everything immaculate. Hence why that is in the condition it's in. Even the coil underneath.
Yeah, mine's like that. Yeah, I've even got the original Garrett sticker that came with it and the handbook and everything. So, but I put it on the wall because for me it's an artifact. An original detector like that, and I'm hoping someone says, "Why is that up there?" And then they'll put my details forward, and I can detect on their land.
I've got the original Garrett blueprint up there. Where is it? There. That's the
you have. You have done it.
Michael Jarvis said, "I got my first detector from Regton's Treasure, and it was Ace 300 sold to me by Nigel." There you go.
Yep, that's a green machine, 300 dual control metered machine. Had a kind of pinpointing that when you went over the item, the bars went in. So the faster they went in, the more you were over the target. It was a kind of metered pinpointing.
Fantastic.
Quite revolutionary at the time. Yeah. My gosh. I've got the, and Nick Barry.
What's that one I've got over there? Yeah, I can't remember. C-Scope 700 series, was it, Marcus?
770.
770.
770 probably. Is it looks like a number 7?
It's got the wiggle waggle. It's a shepherd's hook, dead small, with a wiggle waggle screen.
It is a 700, yeah.
See, I can do technical wiggle waggle.
I've got my golden mask sitting here. I've got my old golden mask.
Marcus, have you ever thought of creating Regton top trumps for metal detectors?
Strangely enough, yes.
He probably has.
Because
but the problem with that is there is no one best metal detector, as we all know.
Well, I'm just thinking if you had a Mind Lab, let's say for example, someone picked battery life and they picked Mind Lab Manticore against a C-Scope 6MXI, the C-Scope would win. Do you know what I mean? Weight, battery life, price. Well, anyway, we digress. But more importantly, we're on the show tonight to talk about XP's ST range of stereo headphones. Now, I have a pair here, kindly sent to me from Regton. These are the WSAs, and these are the ST version. And I must say, I personally think it's revolutionary to the hobby. It's in early stages, and my opinion is you've got a Deus II, you've got this technology come along. For me, it's like learning a new machine without the ergonomic issues. If that makes sense. So you've got to relearn your tones. And anyone in the chat who's thinking about upgrading, it's early days. You might have seen some YouTube videos, and some people, I personally don't think you can review it this early on. It's going to take a while. What are your thoughts, Seb and Marcus?
It's honestly pretty much the same. So because it's a different way of detecting, and exactly like you say about relearning the tones, in a way with how it works with channel 1 and channel 2, you can have your favorite program, your go-to program on channel 1. It's just learning the extra information that channel 2 is giving you. And yeah, I mean, it's a different way of detecting, and exactly like you say, it's too early to say that anyone's probably mastered it, if I'm perfectly honest, because of the amount of stuff you can do on it. And yeah, I mean, like I was here with Marcus and Aaron over the last week, and I was trying to put together a program which I thought was going to be great for me into the field. And I'll be completely honest, I went out detecting on Sunday, and I was like, what is going on? Like, it just wasn't behaving how I thought it was going to behave. And it was just straight back to the drawing board and going back to those presets effectively because they're there and they work, and it's a good way to understand them to start off with anyway. And how the extra tones work and how they kind of meet together in the middle to give you a better understanding or picture of what you're digging. Yeah, it's just something that it is going to take time to basically learn and master and hone in effectively.
I'd reiterate that as well. At the end of the day, channel 1 is your Deus as you know it. You use it exactly as you have been using it. It's what you know, it's what you understand, or what you've developed your understanding of. And your favorite program is your favorite program. It doesn't matter whether it's A, B, C, or D, or somebody else's program. It's what you understand. Channel 2 is giving you a different way to listen to that signal. And depending on how you use the presets to give you a better understanding initially is probably the best way to use it, because each of those presets gives a different thing. Was it one is for deep items, identifying whether it's a deep item. 2 is for identifying whether it's a shallow item. Then you've got jaw reactivity?
Yeah, that's 3. Yeah,
it's 3. And then you have your discrim and all metal as a preset in 4. Now, they've given you these as just basics for you to get to understand and learn the machine before you go in and play in the expert mode. And the expert mode has so many permutations, it wouldn't be possible to create preset programs for everything you can do. You, the user, will develop it to suit you, your hearing, and the ability to identify targets in a way that you've never been able to do before.
Thanks for that, Marcus. Dave, there's a video we've got, because this technology is really hard to get across if you haven't got stereo headphones on. And this is one of the issues I think may cause issues with YouTubers and people on social media, because whereas before they show a video with the target and the signal and the tone on the VDI, on stereo it's going to be quite hard to portray this. And we've got a little video which has been AI generated, not by us but by someone else, and it sort of basically gives you quite a clear idea of how it works. And Mr. David will play this. He's just loading up the film reel onto the computer system, and he's clipping the tape, and he's just about to play it. Questions in the chat. We'll start after this presentation. Thank you.
So XP metal detectors just dropped an absolute bombshell, firmware version 4.0 for the Deus II. Now, you've probably heard it's all about stereo sound, but believe me, that is just the tiny tip of the iceberg. What we're really looking at here is a fundamental shift in what a metal detector can even do. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. This was the actual reaction during XP's own live stream. I mean, a statement like that, wow, that sets the bar incredibly high. So what on earth did XP create that's getting this kind of praise? Because let's be honest, stereo sound itself isn't new, right? We've had it for ages. The real game changer here isn't just about hearing things in your left ear and your right ear. It's all about what the detector is doing with those two separate channels. And that right there is the crucial takeaway. This is not just some simple audio update. It's a total processing revolution. With version 4.0, your Deus II can literally operate as two different machines at the same time with one coil and in one single swing. The question is, how is that even possible? Well, it all starts by changing the audio architecture from the ground up. And to really get what the new system does, we first have to take a quick look at the old one. So this slide right here really shows the massive technical leap. Before, your detector would generate one single mono signal, and it would just copy that exact same sound to both of your ears. Simple. But with V.0 and the new headphones, it's sending two completely independent audio streams. And that separation, well, that's the key that unlocks everything else we're about to talk about. So how does having true stereo sound lead to having two detectors? It's all powered by a brand new technology that XP cooked up just for this firmware. They're calling it multi-processing. Here's how it works. The coil sends its raw signal up to the remote control or the WS6 module, and that's where the magic happens. The controller takes that one signal and processes it in two totally different ways at the exact same time, sending a unique audio output for each process to each of your ears. This is what lets you run completely different detector settings at once. It's wild. Okay, so that's the tech behind the curtain, but what does it actually let you do when you're out in the field? Well, this update gives you some incredible new abilities, almost like you've been given audio superpowers. First up is something called multi-reactivity. You know, the classic detecting dilemma, right? Do you set up for maximum depth to punch down deep? Or do you set up for high reactivity to pick good targets out of thick iron? Well, now you don't have to choose. You can set one audio channel for depth and the other for separation. You literally get the best of both worlds, all in a single swing. Next, we have morphing. This is so cool. By blending two completely different audio types, say the smooth PWM audio and the sharp square audio, and setting them to different sensitivities, the detector basically creates a depth gauge for your ears. A really deep target might only trigger that first high sensitivity channel. But as you get closer, the second sound starts to blend in or morph with the first, giving you this amazing intuitive feel for how deep that target really is. Then you've got the chorus effect. Normally, a target signal sounds like it's right in the middle of your head. But when the detector hits a super faint, deep signal, chorus spreads that sound out, making it feel like it's coming from your left and right at the same time. It's this unmistakable audio cue that just screams, hey, pay attention, there's something deep right here. And this one is a real mind bender, dual access. This lets you run a normal, motion-based discrimination mode in one ear, while the other ear is running a non-motion, all-metal static mode. It's like having your detector and your pinpointer on at the exact same time. You can identify good targets and precisely locate all the metal in a patch without ever having to switch modes. And hey, there's some good news for absolutely everyone, even if you don't upgrade your headphones. This update includes a brand new audio profile called Low Square. It's this really nice, deep, bassy tone that's designed to mix well in stereo. But the key thing is, it's available to all DS2 users. So even with your original mono headphones, you're getting something new. Okay, I know that's a whole lot of powerful new technology, and it might sound a little complicated, but you don't have to be a sound engineer to use it. XLRC has brilliantly bundled all these new abilities into 4 simple factory presets to get you started right away. Let's just run through them. You've got the morphing preset for that acoustic depth meter. You have dual access for when you want to clear a patch with surgical precision. There's multi-reactivity for those tough sites with both deep targets and iron. And finally, pitch with chorus for pulling out those barely there deep whispers. They're the perfect starting points to explore everything this new tech can do. So you're probably wondering, all right, I'm sold. What do I need to do to get all this? Let's break down the requirements. It's pretty straightforward. First things first, everyone needs to update their remote control and their headphones to version 4.0. Now, to unlock all the cool multi-processing features we just talked about, you will need one of the new stereo headphone models, but, and this is great news, you do not need a new coil. All of your existing FMF coils are 100% compatible. So get ready to mark your calendars. The new firmware will be available for everyone to download on Friday, January 23rd, 2026. So Here's the bottom line. The DS2 is no longer just one ridiculously powerful detector. It's now two of them working together in perfect sync on every single swing. This is a genuine breakthrough that gives you more information, more customization, and ultimately a much better chance to make those incredible finds, which really just leaves one question. With two detectors in one, what will you find first?
So what's she done there?
Well,
And
yeah.
when she kept on saying morphing, I kept on going like this.
Can we also
I
make
will-
it clear it's not a DS?
First- No,
it's a
I'll first jump in there. Marcus recommended this video, and hats off to him, ignoring all the American voice and the bad AI translation on certain words. It basically sums up things as
In a
close
very
as we
simple-
can get at the moment.
Marcus,
in a
Marcus,
very simple way to get it across.
I understood it.
Well, there you go.
understood it vaguely.
Oh my
I'm
god!
saying.
Yeah, it's a bit like when you went from analog to digital on a detector. So you're going from a couple of dials to this screen that suddenly you're pressing buttons, but in a audible kind of way. It sounds confusing at the moment, but I personally think other manufacturers will jump on board if it's not patented or whatever in the future. Because why, when you buy a record, like I remember growing up as a kid, mum and dad had a record player and that had one speaker. Then suddenly, mum and dad bought a stereo system. And as a kid, we all wanted stereo. And it's been quite complicated because I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong, Marcus. The signal. This is all down to the sound. You get a single signal come up to the control box.
Yep.
And it's then split into stereo.
Yes, effectively, your coil is your detector. Your control device, whether it is a WS6 or a remote, is the controller for the machine, and it through the version 4 software and the added morphing section in there that they've added, that generates the two audio types. So you've got your standard detector in channel 1 and the ability to have the other effect on channel 2.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the questions that we are having is where it says about upgrading to the 4.0.
Yeah.
Can you upgrade your XP Deus to 4.0, or do you have to have the headphones as well to do it, or leave it alone?
So
yeah, I think the best thing to say to that is this video was made before there was a slight little tweak to you only upgrade to version 4 if you have the stereo headphones. So kind of in the AI-ification, it's been taken from the live stream, which at the time was correct in a way. So if you don't have stereo headphones, version 4.1 is coming pretty literally, it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
So then you'll get the benefits of the low square, like it mentions on your mono headphones. So yeah, if you have mono headphones, don't upgrade at the moment. Version 4.1 is literally around the corner.
And
So
the same.
can I
Can I put just one other thing? And also, if you have the WS6, not ST, there's no point in updating that to version 4 yet.
Well, you can't.
Okay,
can't
because you
really.
can't. You need version 4.1. And as Seb said, our latest information is it's not that far away.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, what's the benefit of uploading that program if you don't have the stereo headphones? I mean, are you benefiting a lot? Because obviously you're not going to be able to use stereo modes without those stereo headphones.
No. So in version 4, what they're into, that's why they brought in the low square. So the low square is another audio type that will be available to you in 4.1 for those people that do not have the ST headphones.
Yeah, and what I'll say for that as well, when it comes to mono users, especially using low square, it gives a really nice kind of low audible hum on iron, and then you've still got the kind of squarey tone basically what I'm trying to say is it's nice and separated effectively still. So it is. I would always recommend. Well, we would always recommend anyone to update your equipment to the latest version of software. I mean, if you don't like it for whatever reason, you still have the you still have the ability to backdate. It's not like they're going to force you and keep you on version 4.1. You can backdate to 3.1, 2, 1.1, 0.7, and 0.6. So you have the ability to go back, basically.
Can I add to
I've
that?
got a couple of questions additionally. Let me just scroll right up a little bit. We've had that one. No, that's not one.
I've written them down. So
how's the pawn connect? Oh no, that's someone else.
I mean, we have got a Dr. Nomad on here who said you would have been better off making a cup holder. Well done, tidy. But
will it reduce battery life?
No.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, Matt Kent.
No, nothing to do with battery life at all. It is splitting an audio. That's nothing to do with battery life.
Yeah,
battery life will stay the same.
Yeah, it's exactly as Adrian said earlier. It's still the same signal going up the detector in theory. It's just then processed 2 different ways.
Yeah, that was Matt Kent, by the way.
Dias Pedro says, Marcus, you don't have any XP WSA ST headphones for sale.
We do.
We do, because they're there.
On the website, I take it, yeah.
I was going to say, it's showing sold out on the website.
We'll double check that one afterwards, but no, we do have
100% they are in stock, so we need to have a look at that afterwards.
Can I put my 2 pennies worth in with headphones?
Ava Infinsa says, can you buy the data cables separate at Regton's?
Not currently, no, but they should be in stock in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, our next delivery
Can I just interrupt there? So I use an Apple Mac, and I've got USB-C connectors, not USB. And when I updated my headphones and my Deus II, because I've got like a lot of manufacturers, not MindLab or XP, they still send you that old-fashioned USB type adapter. And because I'm using the Mac and a lot of new PCs, we're USB-C. So I've got a docking station next to my Mac, and I plugged my USB-C cable in there, and these headphones, but WS6's got USB-C or still the original?
Yeah,
there's USB-A or something.
Yeah. So it was, I think it was an EU directive a couple of years back where only new, but like phones.
That's it.
Any electronic device that uses a lead for charging has to use USB-C, so that it's a war on waste on electronics cables going into the tip.
Yeah. It's just a way for them to. So you got one charging lead or data lead in theory for everything, basically.
Yeah. So just going back to what Ava said, so I plugged my USB-C lead into my dock, plugged it into the headphones on the Mac, went to update, wouldn't work. I was like, oh God. And I didn't have a data cable, and this is very important, which you'll know, Marcus and Seb. You can get USB leads that charge your phone, but you need to make sure that it can charge your phone and transfer data. And if I'm right in saying this, if it can transfer data, there's 3 little squiggles on it. It's like a Y, and it's got a little circle above the Y. If you haven't got one of those, buy one. Buy it from Regton or contact Regton, because the data cable is...
Please put a bit of tape round the cable.
Yeah, I think you get
This brings me on to another thing about cables. As you know, I've got quite a few machines. Why are they all black? Regton, sorry, not Regton, XP, use red plastic. Nocta, use purple. Or Garrett, use yellow or blue or whatever.
You know what the answer is? This is dead simple. You get a Ziploc bag and you put all your charging stuff for one machine in one, and you write on it in black marker pen Deus II, and then you write Equinox, and then you write Legend.
You do what I've just done.
All in their own Ziploc bags all together, and you don't ever lose them.
Do what I've just done and go down a rabbit hole trying to find the correct cable to put your earphones on charge for Sunday.
And get your head stuck under the table. Can we just say hi to Mike Dana or Dana? We've got Montana in the house. Good evening, Montana. Nice
Hi, Montana.
Montana,
and
say an English woman.
Say that Cheryl Dawes has said hi to Marcus and Seb.
Hello, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl.
She's got
Can I
a
just-
rally
Lovely
coming up
lady.
this
Lovely
weekend.
lady.
A message I saw earlier, which nothing to do with XP. Wayne Rowland, if you want to get your Vaquero sorted out, contact Pentechnic. He was the repair agent for Tesoro and Laser. So Pentechnic, look him up online. He'll be the guy that will be able to help you.
How do you spell that,
Marcus.
Marcus?
It's
Pentechnic. His
Thank
name's Dave.
Is
Dave
I
it
thought
Dave.
that was me on the screen behind you for a minute then.
Who would
To be
do my
arranged.
Goldmax power? Because you know that I had to take that up at Detectable the year before last. I need a new cable for that, and it's not.
When you say cable, do you mean for the coil?
It's the cable for the coil. Yeah, it's all broken
Yeah.
down.
Unfortunately, XP don't make any coils for wired machines anymore. So we have no spare coils.
No, it's not the coil. It's the cable from the coil to the.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't. We used to be able to replace the cables. We don't replace the cables anymore. We don't have all the parts to do it. It's very time consuming. And with the age of the coils these days, the chance of it being successful is very slim.
Yeah, it's
So
such a
I'm
shame.
afraid we don't do that anymore. The only thing we have is aftermarket Nell Tornado and I think Hunter coils for
Yeah.
the Goldmax.
So, but they just changed the machine then, don't they? Bit heartbreaking. Will they be good though? Will it be worth getting one?
Yes, a lot. Tornado the Tornado Nell Tornado coil has been a favourite on a lot of machines as an
Yeah.
alternative to the stock manufacturer's coil.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had one myself on a Xterra 705 and loved it.
I might have to try
Talking
that.
of
Something a bit different.
talking of people replacing things, XP have introduced this extended warranty. Could you explain a bit more about that, as if they don't go wrong?
Okay, so what they have done with the Deus II, I'll go back a little bit further. XP are very into looking after the environment. They donate a portion of their profits, 1% I think it is, to environmental concerns every year. He rewards his staff if they come to work on a bike or electric vehicles. He's very heavily into that. They went into what is known as a long time certification in France, whereby if a product comes to the end of its life, they will guarantee parts for 10 years. They started that on the Deus. Sorry, not the Goldmax Power, but on the Deus. With regards to the 10-year warranty, that is available on a Deus II full package, and it is available on coils individually. So it's £49.99, I think it is.
Yeah.
£49.99 at the moment. Currently, it's only available from XP Direct at the moment. We will be adding it shortly in the UK. It's really designed for the service centres because it's we that will be doing that 5 years at the end. So
No. It's basically that. Unfortunately, sorry, they've started it from machines which are basically younger than 2 years old. So unfortunately, if you did get the Deus II when it first came out, unfortunately, it's not for you. But it is a bit of a retrospective thing that they have allowed people for the last 2 years to basically go back and add an extra 5 years warranty on. So yeah, I mean, you can have up to 10 years warranty if you purchase the Deus II today or tomorrow. Yeah, you can have up to 7 years warranty as it stands. If you're 2 years old.
But from what I saw, Seb, the minute you go to update your Deus or click updater, it gives you those options at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you do want to take out a warranty, is that the best way to do it, to plug in your machine to your computer?
You'll be able to do it through them. You'll be able to do it through us shortly. So what does the 5 year give you? It gives you parts and labour on manufacturing defects. So it's not going to cover wear and tear. It's not going to cover damage. Batteries are not going to be included. And the main difference I'd imagine from the 5 year warranty to the 10, return carriage is not included. So if it was a warranty item, under 5 years, carriage is covered. Under the 10 year, carriage is not covered. There would be a small charge for return carriage, that's all.
Thank you. Yeah. Just one more thing, which we've skipped over with the version 4 update, is the tones. Seb, you were talking about it. I am ecstatic about the new tones they've dropped in. Do you want to just explain a bit more about that? And I think I like your tones, what you were mentioning.
Yeah. So I literally like everyone else, I'd have a little play around with it and literally bench testing, which is what I was mentioning earlier about what I bench tested myself and thought, right, I'm going to really enjoy this. When I got into the field, I was like, what? So it was back to the drawing board. And what actually helped me was flipping around how I'd set my 2 audio types up, because I really liked low square. And as I mentioned to Donna earlier, it does have its benefits for mono users, because you have a really nice low hum on iron, but you still get the high tones of basically the square kind of sound, really.
High differential.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And yeah, when you pair that with multi-processing, low square's a nice little additional tone anyway. I would probably recommend, if you haven't, just to give it a little go and see what you think, because it does really it does pair really well, with the morphing side of the multi-processing as well. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, the new audio type in low square, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. And I'm not really a square tones kind of user. No, for me, usually I use PWM, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Marcus, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, the one at the bottom now, can you have it out of each ear? The answer is yes. So it's something called panning. This is from Philip, is it Willis World?
Philip Wills.
So panning is, normally channel 1 is where you're hearing your original programming. Now, some people have asked, well, which side is channel 1? Was quite an easy way to explain it. If you've got electronics like a puck on your back phones, on here, okay, doesn't matter whether it's the volume or if it's the WS6, your channel 1 is on the same side as your electronics. That's channel 1, that is channel 2. That's easy enough on both of these types. But of course, with the XLs, you can put them on either way around. It comes back to the electronics, the volume control. So wherever the volume control is, that is channel 1. What panning allows you to do, I'll keep that up there. What panning allows you to do, there's channel 1, that's channel 2. Panning, you can effectively bring them together so the sound is in the middle, so it sounds like a mono machine, or you can switch the channels. As you go through the panning, channel 1 will move to this side, channel 2 will move to the other. That's fine for these. You don't need to do that. You just turn the headphones round, of course. But when you've got the back phones, which you can only wear on one way, that allows you to take the sound from channel 1 to channel 2 and vice versa. And that's really important for people that have got hearing difficulties in various types. So how this helps you, you need to go right back to how the Deus does the audio. You can change the pitch. You can change the tone. You can change how that comes through on your various 2-tone, 3-tone, etc. You can also change the volume of those tones individually. Once you've got that set up on your main custom program, you also have the a feature that a lot of people don't use and should use, which is the graphic equalizer, because that really can make what is good sounds that you understand perfect for you. It won't be for everybody. You could take that set of headphones, give it to the next person, and he'll go, I can't tell the difference. But it's down to the individual's hearing. What channel 1 and channel 2 do on the stereo, everybody's hearing is different. Mine is different to his. My brother's got tinnitus and has done for many years. So he likes to have that high differential the same way Seb likes to hear it. I don't have it that wide. But so what you're able to do, I may be better at hearing low tones in this ear and high tones in this ear. So that's where you can use the panning to move that across. And individually, you can change all sorts of things in your master device, in the morphing, in the expert mode. You've got panning, you've got reactivity, you've got sensitivity, you've got volume, you've got audio type, you've got tone, you've got iron tone, you've got iron volume, all independent on both sides over and above what you have in your core metal detector of channel 1. So you can customize it that little bit more on channel 1 in multiprocessing, and you've got the same features on channel 2. So anyone with hearing difficulties, it's going to solve a hell of a lot of problems for people.
Yeah, and just on that note, if I had partial hearing in one ear, so if I had 30% hearing loss in one ear, can I adjust that to my other ear?
Yeah.
Yes, you just pan it across to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. So
every time you talk about panning, I think
said,
you're talking about trip panning, and I'm thinking about having a drill in my head. But that's because I'm not technically minded, and I'm letting the rest of you carry on talking.
Sorry, David's still here. Question from Wayne
got
Rowlands.
A question actually, but yeah, Wayne's question is good. Will this work with people who've got hearing aids? Will it be an option
Again
to tune in?
From my many years of dealing with people with hearing difficulties, it's really down to the individual. It's down to the hearing device that they use. So there's no correct answer or no easy answer to that. The only way is to try. And certain headphones work work with certain hearing aids. Some they don't. Some you get that start sounding off in your ears.
Whistling.
It's down to the individual to try, because their hearing is that individual. It's a case of try.
I mean, saying that, I would actually recommend, if somebody has got a really serious hearing problem, to actually go visit Marcus and the team in the shop and try some of the options.
Yeah.
I think that would be, if you've got a serious hearing problem and you want to detect and you want the best experience, go and see somebody who knows how to sort this out. I've got a very good question. So, Seb, you were talking earlier about, this is the very start of all of this. None of us know how it's going to be or work for us. And you've got all the technical knowledge now. You've immersed yourself in the information. You've sucked up as much as you can. You've set your machine up, and then you've gone out into the field and you've had to adjust it in the field. Yeah. Is this something that we're going to be able to set up air testing at home, or is it something that we can only set up in the field?
It's air testing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny question, and I don't want to not answer it, but from what I did on that one occasion, what I thought was going to work in terms of how especially it's more specifically with the audio types I used, with using PWM, which is quite a loud audio type anyway, or how it's set up for me as my non-ferrous kind of on channel 1. That was okay. It was nice. But it was overpowering the low square when I got into the low square on iron. Sorry, when I got into the field, and that was where I just had to basically switch the tones around. And it was right. Okay, I'm back in the room. I kind of know where I am now with having PWM as my discrimination channel 2 and low square as my
right. It's knowing how to do that. So I'm guessing that it's going to be a really good idea for people to play with it at home before you go out. Go scat some coins in your garden, even bury a couple, but go and if you can, don't go and dig up the local park, but if you can get a bit of grassland or something and actually have a play. The other thing, obviously, Marcus, I use the Deus Master, and we've got a tiny little puck to play with. It's a complicated interface anyway, and when you're working with the master with the puck, it is a tiny screen to do all of this on. How is that tiny screen going to cope with this kind of information?
Good question, Donna.
To be honest with you, because of the size of the W6 Master, if you look at the remote control, it is basically both channel 1 and channel 2 are side by side. But when it comes to using it on the W6 Master, you've got channel 1 as your first kind of interface on menu, and you've got channel 2 underneath it. So it's just a case of just going through and looking at
So
that
will
way.
it scroll up, or do you have to do one and then the other one will pop up?
You go to channel 1, then you go into channel 2.
Right. Okay. So you have to do one screen and then tick through
Correct,
to the
yeah,
other one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I mean,
Sorry.
yeah. Go on. No, I was going to say I am really quite. I don't think personally I am ready to go there, but I am really interested to hear people's feedback on using it. I'm really interested because this is something that nobody's ever experienced before, and it is really a bit like the leap from going from your analog machines and using those for kind of 30 years and then going to a digital machine, and it is it's a lot of information for something completely
I think it's
different.
actually a little bit more. I think it's like going from single frequency VLF to multi-frequency, but whereas multi-frequency, certain manufacturers won't tell you the magic that's going on.
Yeah.
We know what's going on with stereo because it's in our head and our ears, which are the fastest thing that responds to a signal rather than a screen. I think it's going to be a hard one to learn, but I think there's going to be benefits. I think
it depends how your hearing is.
Sorry?
James Barnes is saying it will depend how your hearing is. So James Barnes is
Sorry?
saying I personally like the challenge of hearing multiple signal tones and my brain adapting to it.
Yeah. No, he's right. It's right.
What he's saying is he's had a drink, but your brain is the only restriction. And that's going to be a challenge for people.
I'll just interject there. Something which Seb and Marcus was talking about earlier is the graphic equalizer. It is graphic equalizer, isn't it? On the dial?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like saying that word because it reminds me of fitting one in a Cortina in 1982. But
whoa, hold on a minute.
I spoke about cars. Yeah, but going back to tones and sounds, there is obviously an option in the Deus II for the graphic equalizer, and I think what Marcus was saying earlier, it's an area which is massively missed by people, and you can really tweak your machine. Exactly.
Have I got one?
It is there.
Yes,
it is there. But
it's
it's got to be well buried. So I've not seen it.
Settings, go down to audio. It's there for you.
I wrote an article in Treasure Hunting magazine the other month about hearing, and as we get older, our hearing decreases, and it decreases in the high tones, and to a point that Jim, who's in the chat, actually read my article and got his hearing tested, and he did have hearing problems, and now he's got hearing aids. So sorry, Jim, but he will find silver and gold now because he can hear. What is he? 98, Jim, I think. But
he's 27.
He still uses his to sort. But anyway, the graphic equalizer. Have a play. Don't bugger your machine up, but understand how it works first on the Deus II and have a play because.
So when you're talking about a graphic equalizer, you're talking about changing the bass tone and the treble tone exactly like
going back 1983 in your mate's car, you all have a play. Someone wants bass, someone wants a bit of Donna Summer with high treble. It find the right sound for your ears, and oh my god, it's a game changer. And I think Marcus, we were talking yesterday about how you guys demonstrated it once at a rally, and it almost blew someone off the ground, didn't it, when they heard
Adrian. Gareth Howard says, did you write the article in block capitals so everyone could hear it?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcus. Sorry. What I was saying about graphic.
It was a group of about 5 guys that I was going through and showing the graphic equalizer to on a standard setting. I let them all listen to it first in the standard way that I had adjusted. I think it was a 2-tone program. And then I played with the graphic equalizer. So they'd all listen to it first of all. They all understood what was a good signal, what was a bad signal. Some said it was they didn't kind of understand the signal very well, and need to change it a little bit, or I couldn't tell whether that was iron or not. I said, right, here's a graphic card. I'll go and have a little play. Handed it to the first guy, and he went, his head physically rocked back. He went, bloody hell, that's massively different. I went, exactly, but it won't be the same for the rest of these. Handed it to the next guy. He goes, oh, I can tell the difference there. Handed it to the next two. Couldn't tell the difference at all from the previous time I gave him the detector.
Yeah.
The last guy just went, yeah, I can tell there's a difference. But it's that individual to make it sweet for you. And this is where the stereo is really going to come into its own, because it's the morphing signal. I've forgotten which one it's in now. I was having a play with the multiprocessing 2, which is where you can get the morphing signal on shallow targets. And when you're out detecting, it's, again, you said about bench testing. You can bench test to get an idea, but it's only when you're out detecting that you'll really get the real benefits of it.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
exactly
doesn't explain over a video very easily. There are ways that we can do that. They did that in the live show, but there's better ways that we can do that are going to come out on videos in the future from people. But if you're not listening to it in stereo headphones, it doesn't matter what they've done. It'll just sound the same. You won't be able to tell the difference.
I guess.
The more people
what is the cost of the headphones?
So the WSA2STs are £132, the WSA2XLs are £177, and the WS6s are at £293.
Yeah. I must admit, I think personally, these encapsulate the sound better.
Can I please, as somebody with a petite head, I have got a major problem. I've got a major problem.
These,
my
I've
head
got a big,
is the same size as one of those
it's
ear
a P. So let me just, right, these are at the smallest size, and
yeah, and look how much they stand off yours.
Yeah, I know you'll look a bit strange, but you do anyway in the field. One more question, Dave and Adrian. Animated podcast. Sorry, totally irrelevant. John Clayton, when will the winner of the Legend 2 be revealed? In this month's Treasure Hunting magazine. It's out now. So if you subscribe or buy it.
I didn't enter it. Talking about headphones, two things. First thing, are people going to benefit more with the stereo, with the over ear, the big headphones, than the small ones? Because obviously you lose a bit with the back phones. I definitely do, because they don't fit my head properly.
It's kind of a personal preference kind of thing for that, because you either like the encapsulated, like over the ear headphones, like what Adrian's saying, or if you prefer the back phones, and that's going to be what's best for you, really. I mean, I use the back phones myself.
Yeah.
But I think Seb's right. It's personal. And do you know what I absolutely love about XP compared to all other metal detector brands? When it's 28 degrees in the English summer and you go out in the morning and it suddenly gets up to 30, 32, 33, and you've got the back ear headphones, not an issue. Those, you're sweating like a wrong person in a kid's playground. No, they're not. They're not massive. They're not massive. They're not compared to Garrett. What are the Garrett ones, Marcus?
MS2s or MS3s.
Yeah, so they're similar size.
They're not too bad.
But when it's
I have got to try some then, I guess.
When I sent you and Dave a picture the other day, my coil was had bloody what them things dripping off it. Icicles. Icicles. I was using the Manticore then, and it was lovely because it kept my ears warm. And these are perfect for that. Whereas the back head, and that is what I like about XP, and no one has come out with any.
I would love a
bar.
nice kind of a smaller size adjustable over-ear headphone that's got like a pad, rather than like the big bulbous bit, but like you could maybe just slip your park into a slot. I think that would work really well. Have a word with Philippe and say Donna said a nice lightweight over-ear like cup, not massive cup like this, and then you can slip your little puck in. Be superb.
That's like 0.01% of the population. Donna,
Thank you.
Talking of earpods and things, I was talking to you yesterday, Marcus.
Ask, sorry. Will the in-earphones work with that? They're bone conductors.
No, bone conductors don't work with the remote because the audio out on the remote is only mono. It's not stereo.
Yeah, that would make sense. Good question.
I can also see a question from, a comment from Philip saying he only likes the in-ear headphones. You can, with the ASTs, you can take that off, buy an adapter. I think it's £13, which has a 3.5mm jack adapter on it.
That's just the clip, isn't it?
And that will then work with effectively like the in-ear headphones. So that is another way you can use it as well. And I know a couple of people one person that blanket refuses to wear headphones.
If you have
that's the only way
If you have a look at the contacts on the back there are 3 instead of 2. So the adapter that slides into the back, the PCB, which is D09 stereo, I think it is, has 3 bands. So you can't use a non-stereo PCB audio out to put your 3.5mm headphones in if you want to have that in your pocket or use an aftermarket set of headphones. You have to have the stereo adapter into the stereo headphone.
Very good question.
And it's a different adapter, isn't it? It's actually a different adapter for this one than it is for the old one. So you do need to buy that. Yeah,
that's correct. And also the headband is different as well. It also has the 3 contacts for out to give you stereo. So you can't use a mono backphone on stereo headphones. It won't work.
So do you need to, if you've already got, so if you don't wear your park on your normal headphones, you still got to get new headphones. Because I don't wear my puck on my headphones, but you still got to get new headphones.
You would still need to buy the ST headphones to get that, because you need that to be able to get your aftermarket headphones plugged into them.
Yeah, mono headphones have 2 tracks, stereo have 3.
Yeah.
Nice simple question.
Nick Berry loves me really. I don't know what he said that was rude, but Matt Kent said, put headband over the top of the headphones, Donna, like Lars Ulrich from Metallica when he's in the recording studio. I quite like Lars Ulrich. And also Ava Anfisa has agreed with me. And I think that some of the problem that petite women have is that, I wear child-sized glasses. I've got a lot of brains in a small head, and there is a problem with adjustability in some things. And I still am having that issue with the back phones where they're not sitting on my ear, where they're kind of hanging. And I know that I'm losing the quality of sound through that, and it's a shame. I should have bought the overhead ones, I think, but like I say, I haven't tried them, and they look massive to me. There's not a word about me anyway.
Yeah, I suppose the only way around that is the back, Marcus. If that was like a baseball cap, you could clip it in a bit. Because I know what's happening with Donna. Have you got a big gap at the back when it rests on your neck?
I've got a massive gap. And then Marcus has actually fondled it. He's actually had a play with the back of my ears.
Whoa!
And
That's right. It's past 9 o'clock.
No, it's just
gone
It isn't even... So where you pull the band down at the back, so you can clip the buds down on your ears, the pads down on your ears, it is massive at the back. Yeah, like that. It is absolutely huge.
So
at the back. And then when you wear your cap, if you wear your cap, it sticks out. But also, if you wear a woolly hat in the winter time, you can't pull your hat down over it,
right? Because
it's sticking out. So you have all sorts of weird stuff going on.
Have a look at this. A lot of people wear them like that. If you have a small head,
yeah,
turn them up a little bit more upwards, rather than like that. Once it's turned up, then bend that down. Okay, and that will now not be sitting here; it will be sitting up here, and you'll find it will sit better on the head.
I promise you. Literally, I could lose about 4 inches off those, and it'd still be loose. Yeah.
Donna, just wear a hat. Just wear a hat. Talking about headphones, XP were the first to introduce wireless headphones.
Does have the same problem, bless her.
Yes.
Marcus, we were talking about this the other day. How many years is it XP have had wireless headphones developed? Which I think is amazing.
The Goldmax had wireless.
Okay, the WS1s, which were for the Goldmax power. In fact, they were actually originally for the Goldmax. When the Goldmax came out, it didn't have the ability to have wireless headphones on the circuit board. Then halfway through its life, they changed and added a section whereby he already had in mind these headphones. So these headphones are now 20-something years old. Wow. I think maybe 22, 23 years old.
That's amazing.
Wireless headphones, and it took 5 years before anyone else went to wireless headphones. Bluetooth started to come out, but wireless was another 5 years. I think Garrett on the MS3s. But no, these were very, very early on with XPs. And the same principle.
Were they before the White's wireless ones?
Yeah, I think they were.
Yes, well, way before, because they were Bluetooth for the VX3.
That's right.
They were Bluetooth, and unfortunately, White's made a bit of an error whereby they're all on the same frequency and had to change
Sorry
them.
to interrupt, Marcus. In case you don't know, Wayne Rollins is doing a charity walk from RCM from Anglesey to the first Rodney Cook Memorial Show. He's asking for people to come with him. Rally. But Seb will do it. We'll volunteer Seb.
There you go.
But he says, Regtons, have you guys got a Regton flag? I'd be happy to advertise your amazing business on my RCM charity walk this year.
Yes, certainly. We have one of the small feather flags. I'm sure we could find one of those.
Awesome, thank you. Wayne,
and
if you get in touch
very well
with
because I grew up
Regtons,
getting on the beaches there.
I think it might be an idea, Wayne. If you could drop one of us a message on Facebook or drop us an email. If you have a specific size you're after, then we can look at seeing what we can do basically to accommodate it. Yeah. Because I don't think you might want a large 6-foot banner coming out your backpack while you walk.
Well,
you might be
the largest ones are around 7 foot.
Can't really go incognito there.
The smaller ones are shorter than that. But
I can just see now on the news. Charity metal detectorist gets wound up in flag, trips over and falls in front of an Arctic on charity walk. Wouldn't go down well.
I'm advertising the Big Detecting Show. I'd be happy to advertise Regton if you send me a t-shirt, Marcus. Jim's come up with a great idea. He says, Donna, put a section of pipe lagging on the back strap. So actually, your pipe thing split, isn't it? That foam lagging wraps on
pipe insulation for 15mm copper pipe.
I'd need that literally. That would probably fit as well.
And we'll call you Donna Pipehead.
Matt said Zoe wears a cream-coloured woolly hat over the top of her headphones. She looks like Macca Packer from In the Night Garden.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, whatever works. We don't care what we look like. Most of the time, we're covered in mud anyway. I'm hoping this guy who's joined us from Montana is actually keeping up with this, because obviously we're talking a lot about English stuff here, but I hope you're keeping up with the Deus chat, guys.
So this show's about the new stereo headphones, and before I forget, Seb, Marcus, it's early days, but you support a lot of people in the hobby of metal detecting. What's your initial feedback you're getting from them? Is there an improvement on performance, depth? It's very early days, I know, but what is the initial feedback you're hearing from Deus users?
Okay, obviously we, like a lot of people, have social media people that we work with, and some of those are very notable people out there in the hobby. Something that's come back is stereo headphones is not about increasing your detection depth, but there's something that we are starting to see, and we've seen it from a few places, not just from those individuals, but also from individuals who are not notable, and they've made the same comment, and that they're finding things deeper than they've found before. And it's not that the metal detector is deeper than it was before. They were still seeing and finding those items before, but they weren't able to identify them. And this is where this morphing really comes into its own. And that is, let's say you've got your favorite program in channel 1, you're used to it, you get great finds, you work a site, you've done it to death. Going onto that same site with the multi-processing and having a play, something that has come back on at least 3 or 4 occasions now from people is that they have found more items on a site that they wouldn't have expected to find more items on the individual detection day that they're detecting. So one customer talked about a field that used to produce a hell of a lot of hammered coins and silver coins. And these days, he doesn't expect to find many on there. He went out on the first day, phoned me like a giggling kid, saying, what the hell have XP done to the machine? At first I thought, okay, what's this going to be? And he said, I've walked for an hour, I found 2 hammered and a milled coin already. Subsequently, I think he posted online, I think he found 5 that day on a field that he would normally expect to find 1 or maybe 2 coins in a 3-month period. And he found 5 in one day. Well, that could happen to anybody, but not this particular person who knows his machine very well and knows his sites very well, and especially this one. Yeah, and that we've heard from a few people. Not only have they found more, but it has also appeared to give them more depth. Well, it hasn't actually given them more depth. It's enabled them to identify an item that, while you're normally detecting, you would have heard it, but you wouldn't have been able to identify it because you've gone over it and it's been a bip or a glitch or a
There's a good question in the back of that, Marcus, or on the back of that rather, because you hear a lot of people running their dice in really hot, fast programs. So it's very chattery. There's a lot of noise going on in the background. Do the stereo reduce that kind of clatter in the background? Because I like to run reasonably quiet, but does it reduce that down to kind of a low hum? Do you not need that constant chatter to know that you're finding the ground? Because I mean, people use it, don't they, for like ground noise, basically to know they're standing on the ground, I think. But is this going to change that sort of experience? Is this when people like to run it hot and have all that background chatter?
I think it kind of comes down to how you kind of want to run your machine, because you can effectively set the panning up so you can have the chatter or the burble in one ear and then still have the good tone in that same ear. But you get discrimination in the other. It depends on how you really want to set it up. I mean, I run pretty much sensitive myself anyway, program 2 usually. So I'm used to that chatter. It's just a little bit quieter because I've panned it apart or I brought it together. So I'm starting to get both audio channels.
Do you not think that will eliminate the need for running all that heat though? Do you not think that will basically, because you're running that so you can hear these, and like Marcus says, you're not going any deeper really. If you're listening to your machine, you're listening to your machine properly. You should be able to hear a deep target or what it is. It's just that some people are going too quick, some people aren't concentrating, and some people use that background chatter just to identify bigger blips in the landscape, if you like.
You've kind of hit the nail on the head exactly what ST actually gives you, especially with the dual reactivity. So people have said, okay, you've got one with a high reactivity, one with a low reactivity. Well, am I going to miss things? No, because you're going to find it with the low reactivity. You're going to hear it with the high reactivity as you slow down, as you get closer to the item. So it identifies signals that so much easier that you are going to be able to dig. And that's where I said these people that have come back and said, yes, I found more items. It's not that it's made the machine deeper. I can hear and I can identify them that much quicker and easier, and I'm not walking past them. And these are experienced detector users. And that's come back from about 3 or 4 people saying, yes, I am finding things on sites that I've technically worked out and will only produce a few items. But also, they're saying that they are finding things deeper because they're hearing things that they would have gone past them in their ears.
Because they're using a lower activity and higher activity. So the machine's been made, the machine hasn't been made deeper, but you have the ability to use a lower activity, which would...
You're splitting out the target is what you're saying. So, I mean, a completely different way from, it's not, what would you say? It's not identification, really. It is splitting out the noise that the target makes and telling you it's a good signal when previously you might just whiz past it and not notice it.
Correct.
I think the way I would summarise this in a simpler term is at 16, I'm sitting in a party at home with family and friends, loud music, everyone talking, and Granddad's in the corner. He can hear the conversation, but it's muffled. And I'm young and I've got acute good hearing. It's almost as if it's like a fresh set of ears. That's what I think. But it's learning how to regress back to that when you're... So you're right. It probably doesn't give you more depth, but it gives you a clearer detecting experience. That's what I think.
And that enables you to hear items that you wouldn't have heard at depth before. That's the thing.
Sorry?
It gives you the ability to hit.
Ignore him. Just ignore him.
You got you. I think as well, I mean, it's as Dave said earlier, he kind of checked out because it's gone into a bit of a techie conversation. And I think those comments is honestly, you can it's like with the Deus anyway, but it's also in multiprocessing. You can go as deep and you can go as deep as you want to in terms of changing the machine to how you want to. You mentioned the graphic equalizer earlier, audio types. There's so many things you can do, but there are also just presets. So how we've mentioned about having 2 activities, that's on multiprocessing 3. The morphing, like Mark's mentioned, is on 1 and 2. So there are presets there you can just flick to. I mean, it's not gonna cost you anything if you're going over time.
I think one of the things is as well, it's a really important point that you're making, Seb. You start out with the presets, see how you get on, 100%. And then tweak it. Get used to the noise, see if you get on with it, tweak it. Don't just get it, fiddle about with it, completely ruin your machine and go out and have a horrible time. This is one that you're going to really have to think about and take your time with and learn it. So many people buy a machine, change the machine, new machine, different machine. They have it for like 2 weeks and I hate this. It's really terrible. I don't like it. You have to persevere. And it's every single machine that you buy, new machine, is a learning curve. This is something completely different. Nobody yet, like you rightly said at the beginning, has had time to have a proper amount of experience with it. It's going to be so interesting to see how this develops as a concept. I'm thrilled about it.
It's the start. You are right. It is the start.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say, Donna, is you said, see how you get on with it. Persevere, push it. You might think you're losing your old program, you might go out with your stereo headphones, find nothing, or just ring pulls and like that. But I think persevere. It's a bit like when you go on holiday. You get in a foreign car, you're driving left-hand drive, and then when you get home,
you're out of the conversation. You said it. It's like a car. It's not. Anyway,
no, it's true though. It's a change, and you've got to adapt to the change. No, it's true. You've got to adapt. It's you go on holiday, you're driving left-hand drive all day, all week, or fortnight. You don't like it, and when you get home, you get back into multi-frequency, monotone. Think, yeah, I'm comfortable here. No, just make the change. Keep pushing it. See what you can do. Be the first person on YouTube to find the chord.
Concentrate a little more. So slow down, and especially in busy areas, concentrate. But just take it slowly, everyone. This is groundbreaking.
Well done, Alan, lukewarm,
I mean, if you're right, Marcus, if I can go back on my little field that is literally dead as a doornail, it has been detected to death. If I can go back out on that and have a new experience on that and dig more denarius and dig more silver units and find more Roman fibulas, I'm going to be made up, aren't I? Sorry, Adrian.
Shall I put it on mute, Adrian?
Sorry?
Shall I put her on mute?
Sorry? Oh, yeah, got that.
Marcus, Seb, anything else that you want to add before we depart this lovely evening?
There's nothing more from me apart from what I was just saying earlier about literally do use those presets. They're there so you get an understanding. Multi-processing 3, I think, is a great way for people to actually understand when they're over a target how reactivity works. And maybe you can hear especially when it's set to, I think it's 4 as standard at 1.5. You can hear the channel 1, the 4 reactivity. Hear that quicker target, and it's snapping to get ready for another target in theory. But you also get the elongated tone on the second target. But it's also, it's a nice little way just to understand how things work on the machine as well. If you've just picked up for the first time, like what Donna and Adrian were saying, is use the presets, use the bog standard programs. Yeah, they are there to be used, and they're a good introduction to understanding how the little things work.
One thing I'll add to that is about only do a small amount of change on any particular setting if you're in the expert mode. For those that have been detecting around for a long time, they'll remember a machine called the White's DFX. Had 106 features on it you could play with. If you changed too much on the DFX, it became a heap of junk. For those people that understood the machine and only made a few adjustments, it was a very deep machine. But most people played too much, and it became horrible. The predecessor to that, the XLT, was a very forgiving machine. You just played with preamp gain 3 or 4, I think it was, and something off. I can't remember what it is now, but it was something off, and then preamp gain 3 or 4, and then you played with AC sensitivity. That's all you had to do. With the DFX, you couldn't just do that. You had to be a little bit more subtle, and there were other things you had to play with. With multi-processing, only small changes. See how that has an effect, because there are so many permutations in the expert mode. When you start playing, you can easily make it so that it just becomes a constant noise of nothing. So don't do what we did. As we said about the graphic equalizer in our cars when we were kids, we got everything and turned it all to max. You can't do that with multi-processing. You'll have a horrible machine if you do that.
Now listen, everyone, obviously the earphones, they've just been released last month. You don't have to rush out and get them now. No. You've got enough time to
there's a couple of
see what other people are. Listen to, if you want to listen to Adrian will be talking about them on the show. Listen to Adrian, listen to other people who've got them, and you can get them in the future. There's no reason to rush out and get them now. They might not suit you currently, but they might suit you in a couple of months, a year's time. Maybe they're not going anywhere. No, they'll be there, and Regtons will be there for you as well.
Kind of a MIDI range, I'll be trying them. Can I just say, important incoming? Stephen Brame is actually thinking about a Deus II. He just needs a 5-year payment plan. Stephen Brame, Quest for Britannia. He's been a Quest man through and through, found loads of decent stuff. If you're changing his mind, you've done a good job, Marcus and Seb. I think.
Actually, he can buy it via Regton's on. You do Klarna, don't you? And
it's over 2 years, I believe.
2 years for interest free.
No brainer, Stephen.
It's also probably a good thing to say as well that future Deus 2s now will come with the ability to only buy the ST headphones basically in the future. So you can still use them as mono headphones in terms of just not using the multi-processing. So you don't have to if it's something that you're not quite sure of and it might put you off. You can use the machine as everyone else has for the past 2 or 3 years, and then when you feel you're ready to, you can then go to you start to experiment with multi-processing. But if you've got
a 4.1 coming out, and that's going to be stable for use as your kind of main program, is that going to change much the next phase of this? Is that going to change the general performance much for mono users? Because we're now going to have to get to the point where we're talking about Deus stereo users and Deus mono users. But will the 4.1...
we've had that before. We've had that before, because if you go back to the Deus 1, we had non-X35 coils and X35 coils, and there was it's a technology change, and when there's a hardware technology change, there has to be a cutoff where some things won't go forwards and some things won't go back. That's what we're excuse me. That's what we've got here with the stereo headphones.
Sorry, Seb. Sorry. Just going back to, I phone up Regton's tomorrow and say I want to buy a Deus 2. I get the option of stereo headphones or non-stereo headphones.
So currently at the minute we have a few of the non-stereo headphones left.
Backphone type, the WSA2s.
Yeah, the WSA2s, and those are discounted to £95.
We also have WS6 headphones.
Yeah. But what I would say to that is, if anyone was interested, I would probably say to future-proof yourself, even if you're not interested even if you're not interested at the moment, I would go for the stereo headphones so you have the ability in 6 months' time or 9 months' time, rather than buying two sets.
Going forwards, they are only making ST headphones. So when we run out of the WSA2s we have, they are finished. We have run out of the WSA2 XLs. They have gone. We only have WSA XL STs now and WSA XL STs.
But you've got none of the XL over headphones left, no?
Those are the XLs. We have none of the non-ST over-the-head headphones.
So if I bought a Deus 2 in 6 months' time, I'd only be able to get it with the stereo headphones.
That is correct.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
In fact, the price from probably next month, we will probably have. In fact, it'll be later this month, I think. We will be having the Deus Fulls and the Deus Masters will be available as STs. They are due in I think it's the next delivery.
So a little bit more in cost.
It's already
So it'll be the same retail cost as it is at the moment. It'll be $7.99 or $13.99. So it'll be exactly the same price it has been for the last 3 years. No price increase.
What will the experience for
really
the mono?
good.
What will the experience be for the mono users with the new stereo headphones? Then same,
mono.
Different.
They'll be mono.
It will be the same or slightly different.
No, they'll just be the same mono.
Right, that's all I needed to know. You've got so many people in the chat saying thank you. You've got so many people in the chat saying they love their Deus 2. I think there are a few people who are a bit, oh my God, they're changing a lot quite quickly. We've just had the HF coil out and stuff like that. Have you got any HF coils available, by the way?
Yeah, HF coil is now a stock item. We've gone through the period where there was a slow supply from XP. That was an unfortunate situation that dragged on a lot, a lot longer than they thought it would. But we're now in a stock situation and available for the dealers from stock as well.
You've got those in stock right now?
Yeah. Oh, yes, plenty of them.
Good.
And
excellent.
I also got I've also had a text message while I've been on here, and yes, we do have a WASTs in stock. So someone mentioned that we weren't in stock. No, we are. Someone checked on our website and confirmed.
Seb, I also sent you a message as well about what we were talking about before the show.
I have. It was a bit of a long one, so I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, it's there for later. And Adrian is a fantastic artist. He's just sent me an absolutely brilliant drawing. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that.
That's all right. That's okay.
It was sublime.
Vanquish 560. Sorry, last question from Matt Kent.
That's the second time he's asked that. Sorry, Matt.
So I got offered the 360, is it? From Mind Lab.
That's pretty cheap, actually, that 360.
Yeah, it's very low end, but I told him to wait for the 560. So I want to compare the 560 to 540. The 540 did look like something you'd make at school with the rechargeable batteries. It's a bit clunky, whereas the 560 is looking good. But I'm not happy with the way the battery's put on it. It looks a bit clunky, but we'll see how it performs with the 540. Sorry, that's it, Matt Kent. I hope to have one very soon. I'll talk about it.
Have I got a mic again yet?
You've always had a mic.
Oh, you did not. You muted me. My friend's looking for a beginner's machine.
Wasn't me, Donna. It wasn't me.
Anyway,
what were you saying, Donna?
So my friend won. I'll leave.
Not me.
And then you'll have nobody to ask. my friend's wife sent me a picture and said, "Is this a good machine?" And it was one of the really cheap Chinese horrible ones. So, what is a good budget beginner's machine for somebody who just wants to play about on the beach for a bit?
It honestly depends on the budget, to be honest with you. Especially if you're looking at the beach, you would want to probably go towards like a multi-frequency kind of model anyway, which obviously the price then does start to go up. I mean, at the minute, the Vanquishes, the old 40 series Vanquish range has been discounted a little bit, so that would probably be the one at the moment.
What would be the best one?
540, Score 3, Apex, Garrett Apex.
Yeah.
All multi-frequency screens. We spoke about the Apex. I still have an Apex at home, which I use for beach detecting.
Apex, good machine, yeah.
It's for a beach. It's absolutely amazing. It's just turn on and go.
Is it really?
There's so many things. It's like cars. Oh, here we go.
Here we go again.
But it's true. It's like and this is why it's so important to have a shop, which Regton's could shut up shop and just do it all mail order. But being able to go into a shop, hold the machine, see if you think it's comfortable. I know people who've held a Deus and don't like it, which I can't get my head around. But whereas
I didn't get on with the Deus one though.
The Garrett Apex is one of the nicest, comfortablest machines to hold, and it's got a beautiful, simple screen, and it's not spoken about much. And
the Regton shop, what you can see of Seb and Marcus, the Regton shop is a lot bigger than that. There's a lot more going on.
I am going to come and visit, but only if you roll the red carpet out, and I will be signing autographs.
I'm not coming to visit, Marcus, because last time I came to visit, my car wrote itself off.
I remember that.
I remember that when you were down the road for 2 hours and didn't bother.
My family used to own a factory in Birmingham,
Right, I'm going to stop Donna speaking now and say it's the end of the show because it's 9:45 and everybody wants to go to bed like me. If Paul Tongues are still in the chat, I will see you on Sunday as I'm going detecting. And Marcus and Seb, thank you exceptionally much. For anybody wishing to find out more who hasn't visited before, regton.com, and you will find lots and lots of things on there, including am I correct in saying the ST stereo headphones?
That's the one, yeah.
Yes, I listened.
Matt Kent says, blooming huge shop.
we will be back same time, same place next week. Hoping to hear back from somebody to come on as a guest. If not,
there's
we
somebody
will
else
have
who could come on.
Many other people lined up anyway. We're just waiting for one in particular. So thank you, Seb. Thank you, Marcus. Pleasure as always.
If anyone has any questions, just please get in contact with us. Drop us a line on Facebook.
You do know your phone's going to be a meltdown.
But not until tomorrow because they want to go home.
It's also on night service.
I think they've been there since, what, 8 o'clock this morning? 8:30? Yeah.
8:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you
12-hour shift. Guys. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
I've actually just got a text message from my girlfriend saying, "Where are you?" So that's gonna be a fun conversation.
As always, you've gone the extra mile, and you always do. You never cease to amaze. So thank you.
When we're at the rallies, I will be walking. I'm up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm still walking around at 12 o'clock at night talking to people.
Yeah, hard work rallies. I don't think people realise. And you have to keep sober. Right.
Yes.
Lovely.
Thank you again, Marcus. Seb. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much,
Adrian.
Thank
you to all our marvellous.
I
found this as well before I go, Adrian. Look at this. Found this before. Where is it?
What?
Where is it? There it is. Look, got rid of Donna.
Well done. Thanks
Take
very
care.
much.
We'll see you next week. Good night.